Before we get in the program, Holly, it's time for this week's Joke of the Week.
Why do trees have so many friends?
Trees have so many friends. This is a Bob Ross joke?
It could be.
Oh, it could be. I don't, limbs, leaves.
Because they're always branching out.
Branching out. Mm-hmm. All right.
This week's
Bob Ross would approve.
I think so.
Yeah.
This week's garden joke is brought to you by Rescue.com. American-made rescue products keep your family, home, and yard protected from pests such as wasps, hornets, yellow jackets, flies, ants, and more. Learn more at Rescue.com. That's RESCUE.com.
Copycat plants. These are plants in which may look similar to ones that you are growing in your garden. You may have these in your proximity on your landscape near a forest trail property.
So, like, for example, the kids now will say, like, this is dupe, like cookie dupe, or I don't know, like a brand name dupe.
Oh, like it's like the real thing, but it's a copycat, so it's not authentic. It's not real.
Right.
You got to keep it real.
But this is not like a positive dupe.
No,
this is like a negative dupe. This is something you want to avoid.
Right.
It may look like, the fancy
name brand vegetable you're growing.
like a say you buy.
We'll get into it. We'll just jump into it. Yeah.
Find something that's exactly like wild carrots when you're out poking around, and you come upon something called hogweed. And so basically people think that this is a wild carrot, and it's not. It's not good.
Now, there are wild carrots. They absolutely exist. But what we're talking about is things that from the above ground level looks similar. Also, we'll get into Queensland lace is a similar looking flower. When a carrot goes to flower, they have a similar characteristic, the two. Yes.
And this, the giant hogweed is an invasive plant. I'm sure a lot of these are invasive plants, but just keep that in mind. So you can, a lot of times they are found at like state parks and other trails just because of
if you have just a big prairie, open prairie property, edge of woods, you're going to have and see this. Your mileage will vary based on your geographical area.
The reason why you're like, why would I try, if I don't know it's a wild carrot, I'm not going to do this, blah, blah, blah. The reason why it's so dangerous is it gives you this rash.
Just brushing up to it.
Right.
I think it's going to smell good.
Yeah.
Woof.
So within 48 hours of contact, it causes dark, painful blisters, and that form after exposure to sunlight, and they can go deep. They can cause scarring, problems up to 6 years. And if you get the sap in your eyes for some reason, it can cause permanent blindness. No. So if you think like, oh, that's just a pretty wildflower, I would definitely, if you like to go running through prairies or something, I would keep this.
Well, it's one of pretty flowers. What I don't know if there's a saying or whatever. Take a picture and walk away. You don't have to smell everything. Like a lilac bush, for example. We all know what a lilac bush is. It smells very fragrant and pleasant. So you walk up and you actually and absorb that smell because you know it's safe. You may be walking through the prairie or trail and you smell, what is that? Very nice aroma, and it may not always be from a plant that you should be getting close to. Yeah, you can smell it in the whiff of the air, but close to it, not so much. Moonseed is another one. Not everything looks like grapes happens to be grapes, and this is one of those copycat grape plants that does grow wild, and we had some of this in our garden about a decade ago. We weren't certain. And in order to get it certified, it would have cost an individual to come to the property and for $100 to say, yep, that's a grape, or no, that's not. So we just went ahead and pulled it up.
So if you're like, I don't know if these are wild grapes that are growing, or if they're moonseed. You can tell by the seeds inside themselves. So most grapes will have 2 to 3 seeds that are like kind of small and oval shaped. Moon seeds have one large seed, and it has an odd shape, somewhere between like a crescent moon and a Pac-Man shape. So kind of like that half circle. Pac-Man. But this is not a Pac-Man situation you want to have fun with.
This is when the ghost eats. Yeah. Let's look at pokeweed or pokeberries. This is it's purple stem with purple looking like berries.
It looks tasty.
I don't know. If you see what the overall plant, it can get 8-10 feet tall. These would grow prolifically some places on the farm, fence rows. It was a very common plant. You could get a whole cluster the size of a football field of these all growing in one area.
You've seen these?
Yes, this is a very popular.
Oh, on the farm.
On the farm. Yeah.
Oh. I don't think I've ever seen these. I don't know. I'm kind of scared of a lot of stuff out in the wild, so I just avoid it. So we also have wild cherry.
Explain what the pokeweed plant has some of the juiciest and most appetizing looking berries in late summer and early fall, but don't be fooled by this look. These berries are animal food, not for people. Migrating birds, deer, and other animals can chow down on these poisonous berries without no illness. Humans are not so fortunate if you choose to
eat those, like a handful of them could unalive a child.
Yep.
So, and obviously probably not good for an adult either. So
wild cherries.
Now these look delicious too.
Well, these actually would look just like
cherries.
Tiny cherries. Yes.
So they can also be a source of toxicity. The wilting leaves of the cherry develop a high concentration of cyanide. So normally you're not drawn to the odor. Livestock do find this appealing, but it's not good. So you don't want to ground up the pits or anything like that.
Let's go to the holly plant, holly tree, holly bush. The red berries of the American holly certainly look inviting. You might be tempted to taste them, but don't do that. You'll see birds gobbling them down, and the birds can tolerate the poison that will unalive a human. Holly berries contain a number of toxins. While they are rare, they are fatally and rare for holly consumption. They have been some documented deaths on them. So don't eat them. They look pretty. You were named after that, was you not?
Kind of.
What's the story?
So I was named because I was born right before Christmas. And that's why. So the holly berry, yes, the holly berry plant, the Christmas, because they're known for around Christmas time.
Right.
Yule time, back to like the olden English, I don't know, across the pond.
Yeah.
Country, different cultures.
When people ate things and died and they wondered why.
No, but the holly berries, I don't know why they're specifically around like Christmas time, aside from the Yule time.
Let's look at dogwood. There is no shortage of shiny red berries on a dogwood tree in the fall and early winter in the eastern portions of the United States.
You know, I've never noticed berries on the dogwood tree. But anyway, yeah, the red berries are eaten by birds, but should be avoided by people. You don't want to eat them. Basically, they look tasty. I guess, like, if random berries are growing off of trees, you probably should stay away.
True, yeah. And we had shrubs in front of our house, and there was shrubs that had little red berries on. And I forget that. I think that was the female plants versus the male, but we were informed not to eat those as well. Which, you know, typically most people would think, okay, I don't know what that berry is. I'm not going to touch it or consume it. Now, we have a phenomenal amount of technology in today's society. We have $15,000 to $2,000 pieces of computers in our pockets now, and apps that can identify a lot of things. But just because the app says, oh, this is this plant and it is safe to consume, or, for example, and I don't know, I'm sure there is, mushroom apps that say this is what this is, it's safe to consume. Don't rely on that. Double check, triple check, quadruple check to make sure what you are about to consume is safe for you to consume it, because the saying is you can eat anything at least once.
Right. So also I want to touch on potatoes.
Yes.
Not potatoes themselves, but potato berries.
Mm-hmm. Which this is a common thing in your backyard.
Yes. And actually I had a friend reach out to me because she was growing potatoes for the first time. And these potato seeds, they almost look like little green tomatoes, like teeny tiny green tomatoes. And they are potato seed pods, whatever you want to call them. They look appetizing, but they are poisonous. So if you are growing potatoes and you're like, oh, I got these little seedlings, they're just a gift from my potato. They're not a gift.
People will actually save those and start true potato plants from them.
Right, but you shouldn't
eat them. Right,
eat them, right.
It can be severe illness to that. So those are just some of the copycat plants, and you can go online and spend a whole weekend of your leisure time looking up plants that look like one but are not.